bartender came back over. Wouldn't have said that was my choice for a date, but whatever turns your crank, kid. I held my bruised sternum as I straightened up. Well, he ain't my crank either. I never met the guy until tonight. He just shows up at the house and I get passed round like a bowl of party mix. That's just fucked, man. I'm hoping that's all that gets fucked. Lauren, who had been silently standing there watching, spoke up. You need to find someone who appreciates you. I snorted, grabbed the glass of beer in front of me that he'd bought. The way my luck's been running so far, I bloody well don't think so. I took a deep swig. I had watched Marcus drinking liquor, so I figured it was fine for vampires to consume alcohol. It was waterworks night. I drank. I started crying again, thinking of how Marcus and Claudius wanted me to commit murder. So what if Lorne turned me in? So what if he stole my life? So what if he was so jealous of me that even had to wear dead man's clothes? I felt myself being turned around and hugged, but I didn't fight it. I stayed there and ended up crying on Lorne's shoulder, feeling the lust rolling off of him in waves as he held me. I shuddered in disgust, but covered it with a few hiccuping sobs. I could feel everyone's emotions around me, buffeting me. I took that this was a side effect of becoming dead, and I think that's what was getting to me so badly. Mr. Sensitive here was ready to roll me on my face and fuck me senseless, regardless of my tears. Bastard! Can I stay with you tonight? I whispered. Are you serious? Lorne had sprung a hard on. Ew! I don't see anyone else trying to help me. What about that other guy? Well, let's leave out the back before he finds me again. I don't know. I can pay rent. I let a smile cross my face, and I leaned over and gave him a Marcus special kiss. His eyes were glazed when I pulled back. Take me home with you tonight. I've never had to beg before. Mainly because I've never had to ask before. Hell, to be honest, I've never asked anyone to take me home. They would have laughed hysterically in my fat face and said no. If he won't take you, you can come home with me, the bartender offered, licking at his dry lips. Double ew. Lorne finally made up his mind, helped by me humping his thigh like a horny dog. You need to get anything? Everything I own is on my back. Literally, I could have added. Or on his. I wanted my shirt back. He grabbed my wrists, and with him leading the way, we made our escape towards the black rooms at the back of the club. I thought it had been a little grabby out on the dance floor earlier, but now these guys were doing stuff they shouldn't. Watching one cavorting couple, I ran right into the back of Lorne. He paused because it had gotten too dark for the human eye to see much of anything. I spotted the telltale crack of a light of a hidden door to my left, and I pulled him off in that direction. We emerged from the hot club into the cool night air, and I was grateful. There had been too many scents, too much sound, and sex everywhere you turned around. I turned around to face Lorne and found myself lip-locked with a guppy. Christ, no wonder he was sitting alone if this was his best kissing technique. I had saliva running down my chin. I shoved him away, and he slammed hard into the opposite brick wall of the alleyway, doing one of those cartoon hang-and slides down to his ass. Jeez, Lorne. You think if you were going to pretend to be me, you would have at least learned how to kiss. I wiped my chin with the back of my hand. Edward? You have something that belongs to me. Well, actually, you have a lot that belongs to me. But this I definitely want back. I moved over to him and sat down on his legs, unbuttoning the oversized shirt and pulling it off of him. Putting it on me, I realized it was about 5 sizes too big now. Edward, I didn't recognize you. You've changed. He reached up and touched my face. I twitched away from him. Well, being dead kind of does that to a person. Dead? Yes, dead. What did you think would happen when you turned me in? Did you think I would get a slap on the wrist and sent to a quiet corner to think about company loyalty? And is it true you wouldn't even let my parents clear out my apartment? What kind of hell have you left them in? All they have is a missing persons report. I didn't know what they would do. You just disappeared. I was too scared to ask, but You're okay, right? How much did you get for this? For what? For my life. 5,000 and promotion and living expenses? Well, I guess I wasn't cheap. I was a selfish, greedy bastard, and that's why I got caught. But tell me, why'd you do it, Lauren? Why'd you betray me? I don't know. I heard someone walk up behind me, and from the gate I knew it was Marcus. I could see the fear on Lorne's face as the vampire approached, and the sharp stench of urine filled the air. I stood up quickly to get away from it. "Geez, Lorne, have some dignity!" "He loves you," Marcus stated matter-of-factly, staring down at my ex-friend. "He lives in your apartment, sleeps in your bed, wears your clothes because he loves you. He saw the you I see." I was pulled back to Marcus's chest. "He honestly thought you would get nothing more than a simple reprimand, and then he would come in, sweep you off your feet, and be all noble and understanding. It did not work out that way." "When could I do that? Read minds?" I asked, cranking my head around to look at him. "Learn to control your fangs first, my little one. Worry about your other gifts later." "So what happens now?" Letting go of me, Marcus leaned over and easily hoisted Lorne to his feet. Standing behind him, he turned my old friend's head and presented his neck to me. Lorne began muttering, "No, no, please don't," and then there was nothing. Marcus had dropped a vocal binding on him. It's just like a random slideshow. No coherent thought pattern at all. "Come here, Sex. You know what to do. Straight in, straight out. This time, keep your lower lip out of the way to avoid accidents. Claudius and I did not mind cleaning you up, but I think it was more than you can handle. When the pulse starts getting erratic, pull out. We will leave the body for the authorities to find. We shall be a little more considerate than your former employers. At least this man's parents will have closure." Marcus used his thumb against Lorne's throat to open the vein. This time I was prepared for the fang's reaction to the scent of blood. It still hurt, though. Lorne began shaking in terror as I licked his neck, my questing tongue searching for the feeding tube. Finding it, I pushed straight in. My mouth was instantly filled with hot blood. The hint flavor was of spicy buffalo wings. I swallowed and drew more. This bastard had killed me. No, he had me fucked up the ass 800 times by an undead prick, all in the name of some unrequited love that I knew absolutely nothing about. And I wasn't even gay. Gently. We do not want to leave any marks. Marcus was cradling my head as I drank, as if he were holding me for nursing. His fingers stroked my hairline. Drinking from Lorne felt good. His blood filled an emptiness I didn't even know was there, and I sucked harder. Only a sharp ping to the center of my forehead by Marcus's finger brought me out of my first tasty bloodlust. Straight out, and remember to lick the wounds closed. I felt full and warm, and oh God, so fucking horny. I willingly extracted my fangs from the bloodied throat and was amazed when they actually started to recede of their own accord. I looked greedily at the small dribbles of blood left on the skin until Marcus caught my face and stared at me intently, dropping Lorne's almost lifeless body and leaving him laying face down in the alley. "What?" I asked as Marcus continued to stare at me. "You missed a drop,"